All right. I'm actually following the tow truck from the dealership, the Infinity dealership. My car is on top of the flatbed at the moment, so I gotta take it home, and I'm out $211. That's for them to look at it and let me know that I'm basically out of a car. Well, I'm not, but unless I want to pay a total of $16,000 to get it brand spec, that's what it would require. So, I also did my due diligence by calling my credit repair. But the African lady, she was all over the place, kind of like just apparently I'm only paying them to battle with Chase. So verifying how useless they are to me right now, there's no need to continue to pay them. $20 a month. So, like I said, I'm giving it to September. Then I will discontinue the membership. But they do say once Chase let off, it will come off. So they think that if they continue, but I'm not I don't have the clarity that I called and needed. So, but I did advise them that hey, this car's going back and so forth and so on. So my best bet is gonna be to verify, hey, the vehicle is here, come and get it. We could schedule a time when I'm available, and hopefully they could sell it for like $10K, and they want to settle for $3 to $4. Because it is what it is. Voluntary surrender. So. But the one thing that I did get away from the call is that, I could tell them that I'll do a pay off the balance for deletion. So I'll try to request that in writing if they want to agree to it. Which most, they don't want to do that. But it won't hurt to mention, you only miss out on opportunities that you don't, know or take chances on. So, I'll give them a call back. It probably has to be today because it's like a 2-week process. So I'm about to find a cool location to park it, get my stuff out of it from now, just so There's just a couple documents in there, which I should have checked first because they were supposed to reimburse me for these things. So maybe I could call them and have it reimbursed at least. So let's see if I can get that 200. It's a process, but I missed out on it for majority of the time because I couldn't either find it or find a specific website. I forgot what it was. But you know what? Like I said, it's a journey. Certain things, you just gotta leave them alone. So in my attempt to be proactive, I did kind of bother things that I could have just left alone. For example, credit repair, I'm not really seeing what they're doing. Like 626 means that I went 22 points. Like I'm out $1,000 for 22 points. I could have put that towards monthly payments of student loans, and I could have gained that much. So I'm gonna cut them off. Once you know better, you do better. So that's the motto. Yeah, it's gonna be a loss, but you know, I do believe there's plenty of wins ahead. You know, when I finally start winning, no one could say it was easy. When I finally start winning, no one could say it was easy. Because it's documented, man. This is real stuff, man. This is literally my car on the tow truck that, you know, it's probably the longest car I kept, almost, or it might tie with my first car, but who knows. Let me free up the road, let me get behind my tow truck, because he's driving a little slower, and I know cars want to pass by. But like I said, it's documented. So this is my L, because I took a 21% interest rate just because I like the brand. And at the time I had my sister's son and nieces and nephews. Although I don't have kids myself, I said, all right, instead of getting the 2-seater Infiniti, which I could have talked myself out of, because I already had an Infiniti sedan. I traded in for a SUV with a bad car note. Now, it brought me closer with family because I was the go-to person to get, 6-7 people in the car to go places. But 2 years later, it's just me here. I'm not blaming anyone, but I'm also asked out. But yeah. Now, if I don't drown into this, what's happening now, this is nothing. I mean, if I really lock in and start looking at my options, I could make $50K this year. Like an extra $50K. So that should be my cue to boss up again. This is a $50K problem. Pay them that 17, pay student loans at 26. I'm free. Literally. Now, like I said, I make that over the course of the year, but I need to believe, I have to start believing that I can make that in a month or two. Just have it and get rid of my issues. Because it's easy to get trapped into, I gotta make that per week. I gotta work for it. I gotta slow grind, slow burn, pause. But I gotta start thinking different. I gotta rearrange my thinking. Life will beat you down into your knees. Have you believe, okay, if I work 30 to 40 years, pension and this and that, but you like 30 right now. Like, why the hell would you plan on working overtime for the next even 20 years to make the bare minimum? So I'm saying it's time to bend the world to to submission. You know, you got to be tired of the world bending me. Pause. But that's legit what it is, and I'm legit tired of it. You know, the jobs are bullshit. You know, you either get a job that pays just enough for you to do nothing, or you have a job that pays, but that wants to, you know, work you to the bones. And either way, even if a job paid, and you don't do much, you know, but you gotta be there. You gotta be on that clock. You gotta be on that call. You gotta deal with this person. Is nothing of your own. You know, I made this video about this YouTuber named JP. I believe was his name. I subscribed to his channel. And I was, you know, doing video. I was watching and I'm saying, yo, you know, he's talking about what I'm talking about right now. You know, even if you do have a job, you know, you clock in, you getting promotions, but at the end of the day, you probably not spending time with your kids, if you have any, or if you're a female, you decide not to have any kids, just to appease this job, right? And then what comes after that? You basically have nothing at the end of the day. You know, you could have, you know, you might have money to take care of your, like, you know, a surgery, a health. You might have health insurance and all that, but so you basically work yourself to get sick just to keep yourself alive on medicine, old, and someone else is taking care of you. Versus, you know, the other option is, because that's the one thing I fault, because he didn't say what the plan was. What did he see that was better? So here's me attempting to say that. The other option is live free, right? Which is one thing he mentioned, but it's not that simple. So you might want to do something that you always want to do. Exercise. I think someone should exercise whether you like it or not, whether you want to do it or not, but don't have a job that keeps you from exercising, right? Or don't take on, like, you know, don't put money over your health, basically. Don't put money over your family. Now, you do need money to keep a family. So you may want to have a family business. You know, after a little while of working, you do initially need a job. But how much ahead is that job getting you as far as being able to put away money to start something that, you know, if you work yourself to the bone, you know, the profit of that work is not being split 10 and sometimes 50 different ways. You know, that's how the corporate are. You know, I went through training. There's this manager, there's that manager, there's this CEO, there's this executive, you name it. And I'm like, well, damn, how much is this agency paying these people for them to have so many people in place claiming, you know, their job is easy. They're just sitting behind a desk and waiting, you know, just filing paperwork and stuff like that. Just a bunch of loopholes things where people at the bottom are doing the actual work that they claim they do. Which I'm not an advocate for people at the bottom by no stretch of the imagination, because we need bottom people, you know. Unfortunately, right now, I'm realizing I am a bottom person, but that's because of life choices that I've made, you know. So my voice is really terrible right now, and It's gonna be a long video because it's a drive home. I'm not even halfway there yet, so I'm gonna keep going. It's not often that I'm able to get this deep, but I'm hoping somebody is watching and you were able to get to this point of this video, because it's not always the beginning. It's not gonna be the thumbnail. It's not gonna be the title. You know, when you get here, you were meant to get here. Not because of me. It's beyond me. It's like seeing somebody go into jail for something that, you know, you witnessed them do for a long time, and you even thought about doing it, but then you had to learn not to do something because of the consequences you watched them face. That's what I'm here for. Now, that's a part that I could clip at the 15-minute mark. I'm gonna clip that. This is what I'm here for. I'm the example. Now, I'm not gonna go down. The goal is to go up. Now, if you're witnessing this and you doing much better than me, but this still helping you, I would hope that you would want to lift a fellow brother up. You know, I'm all about how can I bring value. You know, so this is my way of doing it. And it's now 12 o'clock, you know. I haven't eaten, so I'm starting to feel it now. And it's worse talking without eating well. And I don't think I even ate too well yesterday either. And I didn't get a well enough sleep either, so I'm not operating off the best fuel right now. But all I got is this passion and concerns about my future, my present, but not the past. No regret. I cannot regret buying this car. When it was good, it was good. When I was pulling up, you know, I pulled up, you know. Because of it, people... Now, I'm not saying that I'm reaping the benefits or anything. I just knew that, you know, people can't look down at me, even if they wanted to. Because, you know, I brought myself places and I was able to leave. I was the one, you know, asked for the ride, you name it. So, that's how it's going to always be, because I'm going to find a way out. So this is not the end. I'm just not gonna, you know, I'm just not gonna go down with the ship, basically. You know, I got other things to do. You know, my chopper is coming, and I'm just gonna let the ship go. But then there's gonna be a ship that I'm willing to go down with, but that's further down the line. There's gonna be a ship. But right now, this ship, I knew that it wasn't well equipped. I just had to ride it to a certain point. So that's what it's been all about. It's been a journey. So I'm glad that, you know, there's benefits to a lot of things, like getting this tow at least. I'm gonna see if I could do my last cost effective, then get reimbursed for a few things. Like I got, while the receipt is still fresh. I think on the other situation, I just can't find the receipt. So if I can get that $200 back that I spent at the dealer for checking it out, then, you know, I can leave it alone. But yeah, I don't know why he's switching lanes so much. Just get out of this lane. I understand because he can't still know how to land. That's a truck. But yeah, man. I hope I'm loud and clear enough for y'all. I'm almost there now. So I'm just gonna make sure it's at a safe spot in the area, and then I'm gonna call it in. But I am learning a lesson here. I'll say that. So, the world gonna try to fuck you in every way possible. But I'm not sad about it. I hope once this is closed, I could just only do updates, but I'm not gonna dwell on it. This is probably the longest video I'm gonna do about it. And that's that, I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful that I'm in a vehicle to see this through. I'm grateful I got the tow, because sometimes, man, I feel like my hands are tied. Like, there's nobody that's gonna help if I do this and mess up with this. If I do that and mess up with that, this schedule doesn't match. Like, sometimes that's what bring me at my knees. But that's not the case here. I mean, there's still some meat to the bone where I could do several things and I'll be okay. So I'm gonna use that to my advantage, Thankfully, I don't need an apartment right now. So maybe in 3 years I could get back. Well, maybe a year. Let me stop putting it like that. That 3-year shit, I don't know if I'm gonna be, walking alive in 3 years. So I need to know. Like I said, 50K, whether it's in a week, a month, I gotta expect to make it. Not after working 120 something hours of overtime. Like I said, I got my paycheck today. I'm like, man, this don't amount to shit. And you put all those hours past a certain thing, they're gonna tax you. It's a different tax bracket. So now they start taking. It literally took a quarter of my earning in taxes. So, next time you want to think, you don't got to sacrifice it all now, but think about now. How can you do it now? You don't got to be uneasy, but just have that mindset like it can be done now. That defeated mindset is not it. It's not gonna get you nowhere. I think sometimes there's obstacles that take place that that's supposed to make you feel that way, but your willpower shouldn't allow it. Your willpower is much stronger than that. But if you let it go to sleep, you assed out. Yeah. So, I'm closing this chapter and I'm starting a new one. The operations will be different. The mindset will be different. The mission, the goal, all will be different. And when you know better, you do better. And that's the case right here. You know better, you do better. Okay. Like I said, man, it's 12 now. I'm gonna go get a reset. Make as much as I could for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so it could cover the cost of having this rental. That $2K in my account. I don't want to have any reason to touch it. Let the next paycheck fall on top of it. That's the plan. That's the goal. And we'll go from there. I mean, next paycheck now, I see it's probably gonna be like $1,200, somewhere around there. So $1,200, $1,300. So I'll deal with that, along with having 3 weekends to, put a little extra 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 900 on top of it within the next 3 weekends. So I think if I want to go on a trip, whatever I make over the weekend, driving Uber should take care of that, and just go out there and do a reset. But like I said, I want to hold this car for as long as possible because I just hate the idea of the process. So if I did tell somebody I was coming, I don't have to move a muscle soon. So speaking of, I might not even travel this month. I might not travel next month. Because right now I'm all about my money. But then again, if the cost is covered, I can keep this car and take it with me. Yeah. I don't have to turn it in because I'm traveling. It's just that when they ask for it, I gotta bring it, and I just gotta complete a minimum of number of ride. So that's that. That's me here, just sharing my journey publicly, which by no stretch of the imagination do I like. I don't like it at all, but that's why it's not an attractive thing to do. I didn't wait till people were watching and I started sharing this. Instead, I'm sharing this while no one is here. So if someone come along and watch this thoroughly, they either A, find it helpful and interesting enough and they would rock with me, or B, they know me personally and they just want to grab their popcorn and see me go through whatever I'm going through. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's content. So even if you hear the hate or see me fall, give it a like. Encourage me to keep bringing you the show just how you would want it. I'll bring you more, you'll see more. It's not gonna stop me. You're gonna see me at my lowest. But like I said earlier, don't ever say it was easy, by no stretch. This is an L. This is on me. I can't blame anyone for not telling me, showing me. I just know that if I know better later on, is because I once did not know any better. I had to learn. Sometimes I might have to bump my head several times to learn something that someone learned on the first try. And that's okay. That's okay. Because there's proof that I've asked, I've pleaded, I've humiliated myself, and no one really, I don't know, maybe when all of that was happening, I just thought people could see. Sometimes if you don't tell somebody, you can't get help. So maybe that's the reason why I'm doing this now. Because a lot of time it was silence. It was in silence. I struggled in silence, and I never asked for help. But this is not really me asking for help. This is me on my own still. But at least if somebody see and notice that I need help, the door is open for you to offer. It's not always financial. It could always be advice. It could always be, it could always be direction, guidance. I'm never too old to learn, and I'm not Mr. Know-it-all. So, but if it's bullshit though, I'll tell you. Well, I don't have to tell you, but I don't have to accept it either if it's bullshit. But I'm here now, and we at the 30-minute mark, so I hope this is a good upload for someone out there who's gonna enjoy this content, who's gonna be on a long drive, and who don't mind that the sound is not that great. I hope to put it out there for someone when they do find this channel at its best, that when it interests them enough to go to the beginning of the channel. And I hope that, nothing changes that makes me want to take it off, And, yeah. So, I'm about to handle business, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next video. Peace.